Clone Commander Bly. A veteran of many Clone War battles, Commander Bly, CC 5052, served in the 327th Star Corps on such worlds as Quill, Meridian and Felicia. Hello, welcome to another Centurion's Corner, and today we're reviewing Clone Commander Bly. Now I picked this up from Star Action Figures the other day for about $18.95, so by the time you put post and packaging on there for $2.99, you know, you're sort of paying about the reasonable price of a normal Black Series figure without leaving your isolating home. So here he is, really. I've been waiting for this one for a little while. As I started collecting Black Series, this one was kind of rumoured around August last year, which prompted me to do the Phase 1 Clone Commander. And I'll bring him in a little bit later to do a side-by-side comparison on there. But yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, this is the guy who looked amazing in Attack of the Clones, even though we only saw him, Revenge of the Sith, even though we only saw him for, what, 3 seconds? I mean, he shot the hell out of Aayla Secure. But, you know, that's when we sort of fell in love with this character and his Star Corp. So, looking pretty fine and dandy. So, what we do, we just have a quick look at this guy, and we'll go through his articulation, his sculpt, and then compare him and put him with all his other brothers of the white armour. So, here he is on the side here. His Clone Commander Bly, Clone Co, just written in the black. It doesn't really show up on the camera there. His number 104. We've got his picture down here. He's got his sort of DC sort of rifle. Just inside we have got his pistols, but they're actually in his pockets already. So I don't know if we're going to have a DC carbine down here. Who knows? And on the back we've got that picture, and also we've got the bio on the back. So without further ado, let's crack this bad boy open. Right, here he is in his blister pack. And yeah, there's no hidden DC carbine down here, so practically what you see in that sort of window is kind of what you get. So we just pull him out, we have first impressions, and we're taken away for a review. I think this is my first Phase 2 helmet of the clones, considering I've got quite a few already. His hand feels alright, just feels a bit thin there, but just kind of intrigued. Yeah, he's got the extra articulation there that our friend Captain Rex has got. So it looks pretty cool. Looks quite nice and dandy. Just feels very sort of loose and a bit sort of plasticky compared to the other clones. So I'll take him away, give him a review, put him through his paces, and we'll see you in a mo. Right, so welcome back. Been away, taking some photos, and yeah, I must admit, this is probably one of the sort of superior kind of clone bodies, clone looking guys that we have out there. For some reason I did say this is one of my first Phase 2 clones, but I guess in a way it doesn't actually matter, because I've got Commander Fox, Rex and Wolf, to name a few, and I've also got Commander Greed to review as well, so he'll be out next. So anyway, apart from that, actually this is probably one of the guys that photos really well. But then I say that about Rex. I say more about them all actually, because I love the Black Series, but he just looks really cool. You know, he's the first kind of sort of like soldier Rambo type S kind of guy. He's got the dual wheel pistols, he's got the giant rifle, He's got the sort of like electro visor things on top of his head that we never really saw before, like the Clone Wars and all that come out. So if you think back to Revenge of the Sith, this is the first time that you saw like a sort of like a heavy duty kind of sort of like clone, you know. And yeah, I mean, he just looks stunning, and well done to Hasbro really for making this guy. Unfortunately, he hasn't got a removable helmet. It would be nice to see that kind of sort of like a kind of Captain Rex and Wolf kind of line for these commanders and stuff from the way forward, but he comes with packed full of accessories and just the extra parts and all that. So I guess he's pretty well made in that kind of sense, if you get what I mean. But anyway, we get on with the review. We'll go through his accessories and we'll go through his articulation, and then we'll go through his sculpt. So here he is. He's got his DC blaster, kind of like what they always sort of come with, and just get that in focus. And this is kind of sort of very sort of black, very bland, and very sort of looks like a brand new blaster that's just come straight out of Camino. There's no like carbon scoring or anything on that, and the plastic is literally just a very dark black, which is unusual because they're normally kind of like that kind of sort of grey kind of look. So this is like pure black, and that's the same for his pistols as well. He's just got pure black pistols on there, and just kind of sort of basic looking, nothing over the top, no markings or anything on there. So just put that back in his holster, and yeah, he can hold the blaster very well, like all clones can, and obviously he can hold it 10 times better because he's got this kind of sort of over double jointed elbow, which is great. So we can just move that out of the way. He hasn't got a trigger finger on this hand, unfortunately, but we can pull this one out and just pop it into his hand, and just to show that off, it just goes quite nicely just in there. So we can get that officer look from Battlefront 2, which I've just started replaying again. Really, kind of, it's always been kind of there, but since I got my new place and all that, I've just kind of sort of popped it on in the evening just to give it a bit of just to unwind, and just before bed, you know. Anyway, it's enough for me. Back onto Bly. So I guess in accessories kind of way, we have got this electro binocular kind of thing on his head, and as you can see, it fits really nicely. It just skims just over that sort of mohawk that he has on his helmet, and then we can come back down the other side. It is removable. It is kind of sort of pinned into place, so I might have a look at recreating this, as one of the guys said in the chat. And yeah, it's just a couple of pegs that go on the side of his head, and it is a little bit bigger than this sort of like the Phase 1 helmets, unfortunately, but nonetheless looks pretty cool. So with that, we go through his articulation, and you can't really look down much due to the fact that he's got this armour there. You can look up a little bit, you can look left, you can look right. His arm can come up this far because of this pauldron, so he hasn't really got the rotation now, unfortunately. This one can obviously near enough go all the way around, but again, it's a little bit hindered. We've got the upper thigh, like bicep swivel there, and also we've got this lovely double jointed elbow, as I said before, just on there, and also we've got the rotation, and it's on a pivot as well, just there. We've got the waist swivel. You can look down this much, he can look back this far, his legs can kick out, just a standard sort of clone really, which is there that far, and then he can kick back that far. It's more of a swivel at the top here on his upper thigh that kind of gets in the way. He's got that lovely double jointed knee that these guys have, and also he's got the rocker and the pivot on his ankle. So yeah, articulation wise, shall I say, it's pretty cool. You know, it's definitely the sort of next standard up from like the Commander Wolf and a few others. I mean, even when Captain Fox come out, it was still sort of the same as well, so it was a bit annoying. Well, the next thing we look at is his sculpt, and yeah, I mean the textures, the weathering and all that, it just looks right. I mean, I've seen a few people on Instagram where they've dirted him right up. I always kind of like the toy look / kind of bit weathered, and that's why I always sort of customise my sort of Phase 1 clones to sort of represent what Hasbro kind of do. So yeah, they look a bit dirty, but it doesn't really take it so far away that it doesn't look like a clean clone. You know, so they don't look really too grubby. So here he is. We've got the kind of helmet bit on the details here. We haven't really got much going on onto his sort of electro binoculars. It's just kind of like just white with the brown, and we've got this sort of two-tone sort of like kind of like a mustard brown with the brown and the yellow all over. They have missed out on a little brown sort of stripe here. I'll put a picture just here just to sort of like show off what it should really look like. And I think I've seen on Instagram that there's a few ones coming out now with the extra part on there. But maybe down the line I'll just do like a 5-minute tutorial video just showing what you can do and just add it on there with a little bit of custom, just sort of matching up the brown. And that's kind of it for his helmet really. We just got the kind of brown that's kind of sort of really sort of just scraped away. And then we go on to the sort of like the pauldron. And it's kind of got like a leather look to it. It's supposed to be like a brown kind of pauldron, but it's kind of look a bit leathery and just a bit worn. You know, it kind of looks a bit like suede or something on top. But we've got all the details there. And then we've got this kind of nice like ammo pouches. And it actually comes down and it's attached to the belt, or it tucks into that little part just there inside. So it doesn't really hinder his articulation too much. And also he's got the ammo pouches around on the arms as well. So it looks pretty cool, but obviously it does hinder his like rotation just slightly, just there. And his belt, we've got the nice yellow, got a bit of a scuff on there, and it goes around. There's no other sort of like weathering of parts on there, or the back, as Hasbro always kind of sort of skip out on there. We've got the nice sort of brown texture down here with the weathering. Got a few scuffs on that on his torso, and then going down to his legs, got the brown bands over the yellow mustard with a little bit more sort of weathering on there, and then down to his shins and his ankles with a bit of blood splat. Not blood splat, sorry, if they did have brown blood, but yeah, a bit of like mud splat. And then on the back we've got nothing here, but we've got this nice kind of texture kind of thing here. It's just a bit of a nicer detail kind of cloth really. It's not too hindery, it's not rising up too much, and also it hasn't got the split up there like all the others. It's actually completely covered his bum, and it's just a little bit slightly different to the Rexes that we have. And obviously also with these ones we've got the phase 2 kind of holsters, so they're not just dropped off the belt. We've got this nice looped belt bit here, which kind of always reminds me a little bit of Django Fett. And yeah, that's pretty much Commander Bly. Just looking very cool, very uber, and very pucker. And also, here was my original Bly. So if you want to go back on and just look into the custom reviews, there's a playlist on there. And also, I have a work in progress of him on there as well. So if you ever wanted to create him, and he's actually a bootleg Phase 1 clone trooper that I got from AliExpress. And they cost about £10 on there. Unfortunately, I'm not too sure about if they're shipping from China at the moment, because obviously with all this coronavirus and all that going around. But you know, it's quite a nice little project to even start at home. So if you are looking into doing some work in progress and, you know, just following my channel just to get those bits there, then I'll be happy to help and do all that for him. But yeah, so guys, you can go out there. I would highly recommend this clone trooper. If you're a clone trooper enthusiast, you're going to get him anyway. If you're a Star Wars enthusiast, if you're a Black Series enthusiast, you're going to get him. But if you're one of those guys that's just sort of starting into collecting Black Series and you do love clone troopers, then highly recommend this guy. He's probably about on par with sort of Captain Rex, I would say, to be honest, in my opinion. And Captain Rex is my favourite, which is also talking about that, is I've been collecting Black Series now for a year. Pretty much to this day, because Captain Rex was my first Black Series. So I will do a collection and maybe might do it a live video or do it some other way. But anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. You can comment down below, you can follow me on Instagram, you can subscribe if you like. Almost to 1,000, which absolutely amazing, so thank you so much. But until then, I'll leave you with some photos of Commander Bly that I've taken, and I'll see you next time. Bye.